Hey guys, and welcome back to Silverstand. Alright, so in our last session, you guys spent a little time with Kye's family and had a domestic moment before your fairy companion Poppy brought to you the distressing tale that several animals have been stolen from the Silverstand Central Park. Sorry, I need to look up the name again, even though I checked right before the session. The Silver Court Garden Park. The latest victim of which was a blink dog. Now, after examining the scene, you found evidence of a sophisticated trap using runes and iron in order to entrap the fey creature. You then reached out to two of your contacts. Kyie reaching out to Neon, a member of the Seven Scoundrels. And Vaderin reaching out to Vinth, a pawn shop owner in the Tidewater district. Both of them returned your missives rather shortly with the promise of information for coin. And this is where we find ourselves as you pile yourselves back into Ben's van on the way to your next destination. And I'm going to open the floor to you guys. This session is mostly going to be our downtime session between now and the next adventure. So, for my part, I'll narrate a bit of traffic, a bit of happenings as you go, but I'm also going to include the promised siege ball. So, with that, guys, let's continue onward. You stand in the clearing in the Silver Court Garden Park. Sorry, Mila.
No, I was just gonna say the notebook that I'm using. I don't know where it is. So I'm gonna be really bad with names of our associates today, and I apologize in advance.
Okay. We can.
You guys are gonna have to carry me.
And I'm super good at taking notes, so I'm so totally able to help her too.
He's 100% on board for this.
Yeah.
We complain about Poppy trying some of Kye's the arcane doubloons.
Yeah. I do recall
some espresso.
I do recall that we had gone to the clearing and then tracked around a couple of different locations in the forest already. But I don't remember the ranger's name that we were working with. There were two of them, I think.
One of them was
Kevin and Niera.
Kevin?
I believe.
Thank you.
She came on.
Niera.
Did she?
Yeah.
I
remember Kevin because that's both my father and my brother's.
So
there's always
you had Kevin, who was a human's groundskeeper, and Niera, who was a tiefling with bluish skin and rainbow hair. And they
and
sorry?
Nira is
they are kind of a they're both druids, but their place within the circle varies. Kevin is a groundskeeper, Niera is kind of like a greeter, a tour guide, that kind of thing.
Niera was
Yes.
tiefling, right?
I got the name right, yes, I do believe.
Yes, that's what my notes say. Nerian?
Niera, yeah.
There was that's an H.
I have Nyria.
Niera, yeah.
Yeah, that
Niera.
sounds right.
Oh, what did
I wrote it N-E-I-R-A.
I don't know why it's through the Aya, but yeah, Niera. And they're a non-binary tiefling.
Yeah. So
We went right up.
So I assume Kai's driving. And for flavor's sake, before we got to the park, I got everybody Starbucks. Or what are we calling it? Arcane doubloons? That's too long. That's too
Arcanum?
long.
I just got it. Okay.
We're calling Starbucks arcane doubloons.
Yeah, so it's AD instead of SB.
Okay.
I remember that part. Cool.
Well, I just added that so that somehow Poppy got caffeine for the first time in ages.
Mhm.
And
You
even though I got you,
You wanted me to feel better because I was so upset.
sad. And I purposely got you a drink I thought did not have caffeine, but it's like the refresher equivalent. So it's like, oh, you think it's a fruit juice, and it's so much caffeine. So now we have a highly caffeinated
Crazy
fairy
fairy.
in the back of a wizard van.
Oh,
So I don't
so
think you
that's
guys
gonna
have
be
made your way out of the clearing yet. So you guys are going to
Yeah.
trek back then?
Yeah, so we'll go back. Neon says it's going to be a lot of coin. I don't think I can pass off another home cooked meal as like $50, but I could try.
It's money for. These are animals that are missing.
Oh,
Neon needs to make money for the 7 scoundrels to keep the protection up, and also, kids want nice shiny things.
Oh, with the kids? I'm still young. I'm older than all of you combined.
Yeah, you're older than her. It's like, I'm sure for the Fae you are very young, Poppy.
I mean, of all of us, you at least have a chance still. Some of us are a little grayer in the hair.
Poppy's gonna fish around in her pouches, her various things, and just pull out a shiny rock and hand it to you.
This might actually work.
Wait, to Kai?
To Kai or to Vander?
Neon.
Oh,
Okay, yes, this might actually...
yeah, you guys haven't gotten there yet. I think you were still going to decide who you were going to go with Vinth or Neon.
Yeah.
Just talking about it, though.
Yeah.
She's saying she can't pass off another home-cooked meal, and I'm like, I'll and pull out a gem from my pocket.
Yeah. I don't know, how much does your guys' rate go for, Vaderin?
Oh, I don't even remember. Did I
You did reach out to Vinth.
reach?
He said to bring your wallet.
Yeah. He's no cheapskate, let's put it that way.
Oh, would I know, what's his shop?
Vinth?
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hang on.
I have it somewhere. One second. Let's see. New to you, the pawn shop.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But NUTU.
Is there, an eatery near there?
There's probably a greasy spoon-esque type diner across the way. It's in an area that's very similar to the west end of the city with which we are all familiar. It's all pawn shops, greasy spoons, and porn stores. But so it's that kind of an area.
How do you feel about? And I'll look to Ivy. Should we do the old double dip? See if their stories corroborate or discrepancy?
It wouldn't hurt.
It will
Though
cost
I
us.
suppose it depends on how much money we have.
Whatever it costs.
Right now, you guys have 27. Is it 27,000 right now?
Yeah, we have a lot. We shouldn't say how much we have, but we have a good amount.
Well, obviously, my entire share can go to it.
Okay. Don't tell them that, though, Poppy. That's not how you negotiate. We'll know that, but Let's not tell them that. Okay? Yes.
They'll need to name a price, and then usually we counter with something, and then
Lower.
you find
And
a
then we meet.
middle ground.
I'll
Okay.
never understand these customs. Did you do this at all before you came here?
I never negotiated with anybody. I was a bit of a loner.
Oh,
So you just paid full price right off the bat then?
or killed them and took things.
I wasn't quite that aggressive.
Well, that's good. You seem like a nice guy. I don't know.
Very respectful customer, yes.
What about you, Vaderin? How do you feel about negotiating? I don't think you guys should leave it up to me because I talk a lot and like sometimes I dig myself a little bit of a hole.
I wouldn't say yes. Yes, you do.
I'm familiar with the people who do this, and I'm used to having to deal with the circumstances or the consequences of those circumstances. Negotiations are helpful, and I think we should rely on that where we can. Or, not negotiations. Literally, the word just
Diplomacy?
vanished. No, the word that was literally just
Barter.
said 5 times.
Barter.
It wasn't barter.
What is the other? Haggle. Haggling.
Negotiations?
Negotiation is the word that was.
Negotiating?
Okay, that's where my brain is tonight. It's just there's no
Countering?
short-term memory right now.
Do you want,
I feel you.
caffeine, sweetness, and light?
I'm still finishing the other drinks that are in front of me.
Okay.
Still have mango lassi.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I was just rolling
I
all the
love
twos out
lassi.
of my d20s.
Okay. So I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to text Neon to meet us at Greasy Spoon that I know is within parking lot distance of that new to
Okay.
you. And I'm going to say, I'll text you when we get there and you can meet us once we're there. So you don't have to wait.
Okay. You get a pair of thumbs up, a smiley face, and a running emoji.
And then I'll say, of course, my treat. Just you, though. Because Neon's had a habit of, I feel like, when I say my treat, it's like all the kids in Neon's gang come to the table. And then I'm like, I can't say no because I love the kids. And then I'm broke for the week.
Okay, you get an emoji. It's just a smiley face with the tongue that comes up and.
I'm like, no, seriously, please. If you want the information paid for, just you.
How about the drooling emoji? That's better.
Yeah.
So, tell me about Neon. How did you meet them? Who is Neon? How are they going to have any useful information?
Neon's a kid that I ran into a few times when they were very young and I was doing more on the street work. Got into trouble. I'd, keep them out of trouble, have them come to my mom's place for meals, stuff like that. Not mentor's not the right word, but like advice. Yeah, I was a cop, but I wasn't one of the cops that gave them and their friends guff. I knew what it was.
Like a big sister.
That's what I tried to do.
Here.
Yeah. And Neon went as legit as you can for the type of work Neon does. The Seven Scoundrels, their names sound scandalous, but they run a clean shop. They don't do stuff that hurts the community. They're on the uppers of the underground, if that makes sense.
What do you mean? So they still do crime, just not crime?
They do crime that hurts the 1%, not the 99. They deal in information.
The things that you need to do to get by that don't affect the common person. Respectable.
Yeah. But still, at least they don't do the drug trade or not the hard stuff. And they don't do the people trade. And that's the stuff I didn't want Neon getting
Give me
into.
a history roll, Roya.
Or at least that's my view of it. We might find out if that's incorrect.
If they don't do people trade, how are they going to help us with the animals?
So that was a nat 20,
20.
plus 6.
So the
First roll.
The Seven Scoundrels is actually, as you described, they consider themselves a virtuous organization. Their shadowy leader tending to lead them on the, shall we say, trying to skirt the gray areas of Silverstand society. They do certainly deal in found goods, mostly artifacts and ancient tomes or that sort of thing that come up from the Undercity and have conveniently fallen out of somebody's truck, shall we say. They do not deal in. They don't deal in drugs or in illicit substances, but they have been known to run a blackmail scheme or two on some of the city's elite or wealthy denizens. They are seen by the police as a criminal organization. However, to themselves, they consider themselves to be a more virtuous organization.
Would we also, sorry, Jared, would we also say because they deal in underground goods, they tended to be like, hey, there's this area with undead underground. You should probably
I am getting to
slip
that.
and that's
So they are also seen as top-tier information brokers, especially for rags. Because they're plugged into the seedier side of Tidewater and Silverstand in general, they sometimes hear things that the more legitimate information sources are not privy to. And while they might make that information known, it's never for free. The gang actually takes their name from a legendary band of Arlathian outlaws who were said to rob the rich in order to redistribute wealth to the poor. There are even rumors that their leader was an original member of that fabled band. However, no one can verify that information. Mostly the gang it's staffed by younger folks. There is a tendency to age out, though suspiciously, most of those that are no longer considered active within the gang seem to find themselves in places where they might quote-unquote have their ear to the ground. So former members tend to downplay their association with the Scoundrels.
I'm getting a real Robin Hood and the Lost Boys kind of vibe. What did you say the gang is called? The Seven Scoundrels, but you said something about an association? You said something about an association.
Well, they consider themselves to be a virtuous organization. Think what the Yakuza actually thinks that they are. What the Yakuza think they are, the Seven Scoundrels actually are. They consider themselves to be a place for the disaffected, a place for those who have nowhere else to go and no other means to make their life in society.
and Kyie will there's no better on the job training for adventurers or like practical arcana than the Seven Scoundrels. Really, it's like a mentorship program at some point. Now, would my mom like me to hear? Well, no, mom's cool with it. Dad wasn't so much.
Before we go meet with this guy, I think I want to try and cast Bardic Inspiration and hope I get a 1.
Okay.
So it's not Bardic Inspiration.
Oh no, sorry, Tales from the Beyond. Sorry, but it costs a Bardic Inspiration.
He wants to do a Spirit
Sure.
Tales.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So in context, what does that look like? What do you have to do?
What do you mean?
Do you offer to the group to sing us a song or play your pipes?
Well,
Or
I always play my pipes.
well, obviously, but
Yeah, not right now. Oh, well, okay. If we're going to be on the road for a little bit, we could use a
we're
little
in the
music.
park still.
Oh,
We're not in the car yet.
You don't want to put me to play the pipes in the van?
Didn't your brother drive
I
us?
won't say no, but
Is Ben still with us?
I'm driving. We traded cars. He took my Babe Magnet, and I took his Geekmobile.
Right. Because we couldn't call it the Pussy Wagon.
Yep.
So what do you mean I have to like do something?
Okay, so 1 second. I'm coaching.
Not a problem. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll that Bardic Inspiration die, and whatever it lands on is what you're going to have. That's what's going to be your benefit from that. Yeah,
Ooh.
exactly.
Right, so I rolled a d6,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And you're going to give us a little performance, which you can RP or you can just read aloud, depending on your comfort level.
Totally good at RPing stuff, so yeah.
This is how you're
Yeah,
learning.
it's all about fun.
Okay,
Shake,
what if I don't get the one I want though?
Then you just save it.
Nope.
What'd you get?
What did you get?
Got a 5.
Which gives you, read it out.
For 1 minute, any creature that hits the target with a melee attack takes force damage equal to the roll of my Bardic Inspiration die. Which isn't not helpful.
who
It
would
is
be
if
the
we get
target
into
here?
a fight. So we can save that for later. It won't help us with the negotiations, but it will help us if the negotiations turn.
Yeah, so
forceful.
yeah, you can retain that for as long as you want until a long rest.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It says here. Sorry, I pulled out the good old Van Richten's.
This is the bread and butter of your character
Yeah.
build.
Oh.
Doing this as often as you can is worth it.
You can
because
retain
you're gonna
them-
get a
you can
good
retain
bonus
only-
for
Retain the tail in mind until you bestow the tail's effect, or you
Yeah,
can-
exactly.
okay.
You're gonna
And you can retain
When
only
you're
one
ready.
of these tails in mind at a time, rolling on the spirit table. So
Does it cost me? So, in this situation, I tried to cast. I was hoping for a certain one. I didn't get it.
you could spend another.
Can I re-roll it at a later time for? And does this still cost a Bardic
does.
Inspiration?
Yes.
it will cost you another inspiration.
Okay.
So make sure you keep track of how many inspirations you have.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.
Not a problem. So
I just
how-
thought this would be
Good
the
for trying.
perfect opportunity.
What are
Good
you
for
gonna
trying.
do to? What are you gonna do to bring this tale forth? You're playing the pipes, but are you gonna play like what? What are you doing? Just some freestyling or whatnot?
So the one I rolled was the tail of the.
Yeah,
Avenger.
I'm gonna tie something in there, but how do you want to manifest that?
Whatever obviously with the way I manifest it is through my bagpipes. So
This style of music.
it's gonna be I'm gonna say play a certain tune based on whichever story it is,
Mhm.
right?
Like you just kind of let your fingers flow over the pipes, right? And kind of let it take you where.
I don't think it's an intentional. Playing an intentional tune is just kind of what
Kind of
comes out,
like a
right?
jamming type thing, You're just letting things flow, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take a little bit of liberty there, then?
Sure.
All right. So as you are walking out of the woods, you feel the sudden need to take up your pipes to. I won't say call to mind, but certainly to just let your fingers flow as they will, letting the forces that have governed your mind, governed your music, and inspired you in your craft, just to manifest in your fingers. It's a mixture of musical inspiration and magic. ancestral magic. And as your fingers play over the pipes, the rest of you hear this mournful tale playing over the pipes. This almost... It's a bittersweet melody. It's a melody filled with both tragedy and with triumph. It begins almost like a dirge, low and mourning, before building more and more and more. And you can almost hear the percussion. For Ivoc's part, as you're playing, your eyes mist a little, and you start to actually see the tale being imparted to you through your pipes, through your medium. And as you watch, undead rise from the ground before you. They've destroyed a village. You see a lone warrior, a pair of swords in her hands, as she crouches. Sorry?
I don't mean to interrupt. Sorry, is it just me that sees it, or is everyone kind of seeing it? Just me.
Yeah. There will be a manifestation if and when you bestow this tale, but for now, only you see this. The woman is neither old nor is she young. She has a few streaks of silver in her fire-red hair as she crouches over a form in the dust. You can't see too much. It's a misty overlay, essentially. But you can see that she's crouched in the middle of this town square as buildings around her crumble and undead close in from every side. As you're playing, all of a sudden your bagpipes rend, it's a scream of defiance that rips from her throat, and at the same moment your bagpipes, your fingers move in an ever staccato rhythm across the pipes, mirroring her fury as she throws herself at the undead horde. And you are left with nothing but a name: Haltheria. Haltheria of the final blade.
Haltheria. Cool name.
Okay. Every so often I get a couple good ones. But yeah, you now have a Tale of the Avenger to bestow as you need.
Cool.
Huzzah!
All right. So with that, you guys kind of exit the woods. At first, you were on kind of like the back trails, the places that the rangers and the druids use to get around the park. But within about half an hour, 45 minutes, you find your way back to the cobbled path, and then finally out to the wrought iron gates and stone arch that declares this to be one of the entrance to the park you entered by. I believe it was the east entrance. Your van is still waiting for you. The wizard on the side, still arcing arcane power between his fingers. The cursive script declaring, "It's wizard time, motherfucker." It's still emblazoned above the arc of power in his hands. So at that point, Kevin and Nira turn to you. Poppy, bring them home safe, all right? Nira she looks you in the eye, and you can see the pleading in her eyes as she speaks to you.
I know, honey. I know. We're gonna get them back.
I believe it. And then Kevin kind of scratches his head, and he's still kind of trying to wipe his hands off, but they never seem to get clean. He's got the coveralls on, the groundskeeper coveralls, and it just doesn't seem like he can get the dirt off his hands. Well,
I throw myself around his neck and give him a big fairy hug.
Just save us a few kneecaps, please.
You got it.
All right, and with that, how do you guys want to proceed?
No, Poppy, it's not safe for someone of your stature to be in the front
She's
seat. You'll
already
go-
in. She's
you'll go
already.
right-
She flew right in the
I
window.
think you need a booster seat.
She flew
You're-
right in
I
the
think
window.
she'd
She'll sit in
actually need a
someone's lap,
child
it's fine.
seat for Poppy, legally.
Yeah. Legally, I think we do.
Excuse me. It's called a fairy seating apparatus.
It is.
Did we get it from the car?
I don't think there's one there.
I don't have one for you.
I think the whole plan was duck you
Like,
down between the
Poppy?
seats.
Maybe they'll have one new to you.
Maybe they will.
We'll have to
Um,
check recalls, though. That shit's important.
It is. We should not have let you had the refresher. Oh my god.
I just curl
Poppy-
up on the dash like a cat.
Okay. Ivy, can you make sure Poppy doesn't get jettisoned out the window?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And I look back, how much of the refresher is already gone?
I'm asleep within seconds. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We don't have any significant baggage with us at the moment, right? We're just going on
No,
a little
just-
little trip.
Just our gear. So I'll get in. I'll put on like some easy listening radio station to try to keep Poppy asleep. And I'm driving because it's my brother's car. And I'm just like, okay, it's been a while since I've drove. Like, I know I drove us here, but it's been a while since I driven anything this chunky. So I'm like leaning out of the window to back up.
I
I'm
think it's
assuming
probably,
everybody's in.
is it
Who's in the
like an
front
older
seat?
style van with like the automatic sliding or with crank windows and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's old. It's
Sweet.
This
probably
is like the high school van with the fantasy mural on the side.
yeah.
It's
Not
literally a
You
shaggin'
remember the
wagon.
description?
That's what we decided.
It's literally a shaggin' wagon. Like one of those old Chevys.
Yeah, except there's definitely been no shagging while Ben's had it. That's why he let me. That's why he was okay with the trade. He took a much more impressive vehicle.
That's what you
Um,
think.
I don't want to go look at it with black lights. Let's just put it that way. I prefer to think my brother's never gotten laid and never will get laid. It's just better for everyone that way.
Meanwhile, you're flaunting your girlfriend around.
Oh, 100%. It's completely fine.
You're like, look at her armor. Ooh.
Look at her back muscles. She can lift me, and I can lift her. Right?
That's a niche.
That's a niche. You're welcome, internet. But yeah, so I'm just getting everything going and making sure it's safe. I'm like, is everyone buckled up? Except Poppy, obviously.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, fuck. I just snored so perfectly and I muted myself.
Okay. So, going to... My brother does have a little thing on his dash to put the spell phone in so I can GPS us the route.
Turn left
And
onto Silverstand Way.
they're all Silverstand Way.
I totally
Yeah,
forgot
is
they
this-
were
is
called
this-
cell phones.
Are we going northwest or northeast?
You're gonna want to go south.
We're going... We have to go
on the
around
northeast highway
and
or the
then
northwest
down.
highway?
Uh,
Silverstand Drive northwest? I always get confused by this.
This is why I like...
Honestly, I feel like a council of gnomes at one point just scribbled on with crayon, and then they made it roads.
Oh yes, the gnome
Sometimes.
Bobbert Osis really did a number on our traffic. That's a New York reference. Just I don't know what there's a whole rumor that it's a whole arcane seal of darkness thing. Anyway, let's go.
Where did you find this information?
You get very
Just hear it.
bored. Yeah.
The longer you
Yep.
live somewhere, the more you just hear about the
Yeah.
lore of the place and
In the deep spell
some of
web.
it's fake.
But also like, you hang around a bunch of old relatives who've been here forever and then tell you everything. So yeah, I'll pull out onto the highway and just put on some easily listening music. And the GPS reads like 20 minutes, and deep in my heart, I know that's a lie.
Challenge accepted.
Oh no, it's going to be so much worse.
Poppy might wake up for that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So as you are driving down the road, yes, congestion,
Okay.
congestion. It's bumper to bumper at one point after you make your first right-hand turn onto the next thoroughfare. You're very lucky to get in. Thankfully, there's one very considerate individual who just kind of waves his hand at you. And at that point, you actually notice that he's wearing a Silverstand Sentinels jersey.
Oh no.
Is that the soccer team, the football team, the basketball
siege
team,
ball.
I thought it
or
was the
the
murder
Quidditch team?
Cricket? I've heard the cricket. Is that the one?
No, this is
Siege
the
ball.
did we say it's siege ball? Oh
The
god.
Quidditch team.
Ivy,
murder
can
ball
you look
team.
up game day? Is it game day? On your phone? Mine's the GPS. Can you check?
Let me check.
Huge ball. What was it? What were they called?
Yes.
The Silverstand.
The game just ended.
Sentinels. Oh god. Oh god, it's
It's
game
the Sentinels versus the Whitehawks. The Weirin Whitehawks.
This is a violent game, right?
day. Oh yes, very.
Poppy's like incidentally really into this. You're gonna find that out later.
Actually, can somebody
Oh, God.
roll me? Do you guys want a quick overview of the rules of Siege Ball, or do you just want to continue on?
I think you know what? As I'm like, oh god, okay, it's game day, and I'm fiddling with the radio. It can turn to like a get to know Siege Ball primer if you want.
I'm going to actually just roll to see how much Vaderin
Okay.
knows. I'm pleasantly surprised
However
with an
much-
18.
18 is
However much Vaderin knows, Poppy knows it all.
okay. And you know what? I'm going to give that to you because
Ivoc's new
Poppy
though,
would have been
right? So you
around
wouldn't know.
when the circuit was started. So, Siege Ball is run between 3 leagues. There is the Mithril tier, the Gold tier, or the Silver tier, and the Bronze tier. So, each one of these tiers is decided based on how well the team has done in the last few seasons. For instance, if you're Mithril tier and you lose a certain number of games, you get demoted to Silver tier. If you're Silver tier and you win enough games, you can move back up to Mithril tier. So, with that, there are Siege Ball teams from practically every major city. Silverstand has the Sentinels. Wirium has the Whitehawks. The Avarian Avengers. The Breatharian Cavaliers. All of them have as many different names as you can imagine. The Sentinels actually did have a name change not too long ago. Until about 10, 15 years ago, they were the Silverstand Silver Dragons. And it was seen as the mascot was a little, shall we say, insensitive to the Draconic community. And it was decided that
It's a little on the nose.
they decided, it's just let's face that out, and they became the Sentinels. Their emblem is still a silver dragon rampant, but it was designed by a silver dragon artist and is less cartoonish and less, shall we say, offensive to Draconic sensibilities at this point. It's now a source of pride for the entire city.
But weirdly, the mascot costume is just a terrifying cat. Completely unrelated.
Actually, a calico cat, for some reason or other.
Like an Asian,
Yeah.
like an Asian style dragon. That's more feline than.
No, like a literal cat.
That's what
like
they were
it's
going
a
for.
literal cat is the mascot. I'm gonna Anyway, so the rules of Siege Ball, it's been a way to kind of let off aggressions between city-states, and to gain influence among them. For instance, if your team's doing very well, you can host certain tournaments, certain cups, and by doing so, you can raise the prestige and gain some economic leverage over the other countries. You can also kind of, raise your national prestige that way. So all these countries are competing to have their teams as high up as they can. Oh, Mila's got a question.
Poppy has a question.
I thought you were sleeping.
Yeah, Poppy's asleep, but she already knows all this. Mila needs to know.
Oh.
So the Cavaliers, where are they from?
Bredskin.
You can hit me with it later.
Bredskinville, I think. I'll have to. I'm making this up as I go along. I'll create a list later. But
okay,
are they from
hit
Cleveland?
Poppy with all the lore, because apparently she fucking loves Siege Ball.
You know what? She would have been there when the first games were played, because it was something that came out of the Great War. It's a fairly recent game. It's not like it's got ancient roots. It's only about 150 years old, give or take. But it's really
gaming, underdogs, groupthink. She's into it.
But essentially, how the game is played: the field is about the size, twice the size of your standard football field, and it's divided into 6 sections. Each one of those sections has a tower or some sort of defensive structure with an orb on top of it. Now, here's where things get interesting. Each team is made up of 7 players. 2 of them, and you can have them in any configuration that you want. You can have, say, 3 melee type defenders. You can have, and then 3 range type. You can have 4 melee type and 2 range type. And those ranges can be people who use bows or magic. The defenders can use any type of melee art as long as they can't cast a far-reaching spell. They have to be completely melee-based. Sorry? Mila.
Do people actually get hurt in this game?
There are spells laid over the arenas, and the weapons themselves, like the implements used, are magic to avoid major injury. But broken bones, bruises are common, concussions are common. Broken bones, not so much. They do happen. Deaths are very rare.
So magic to non-lethal
Essentially,
effect.
yes. So, the 7th member of the team, however, is always the scout. And the scout's job is they're the only one who can cross an enemy's line. So, your defenders, those 6 players, are limited to their sections. The sections of the field that your team controls, that you have an orb that is yours. The scout can cross, and what they have to do is they have to grab the orb, and they have to take it back behind their lines. And when they do so, that section of the field becomes theirs. So, that's essentially how the game is played. The game ends when you have either elapsed a whole 60 minutes, the team that controls the most of the field is declared the winner, or if they can manage to sweep the entire field, they win immediately. No.
Sorry. Not sorry. How does the scout get taken out? Because obviously that's prayer.
So that's what the defenders do. The defenders are able to either interfere with you can use range defenders to try and interfere with the defenders on the other side to allow your scout to go, or you can use all your defenders to block the scout. But they cannot leave their own ground.
I definitely played Siege Ball when I was
Oh
in the
yes,
academy.
it's seen as a very it's seen as a very useful tool for teaching people martial skill because you're allowed to kind of rip loose. What position did you play?
I was
Defender,
melee.
or were you a scout?
Melee defense.
Melee defense. Love it.
Melee defense.
All right.
I did not play.
I have
Totally
never heard
because-
of this game, nor have I seen one played, and this is very intriguing to me.
Do you say something to that effect? How do you convey this?
Yeah, that's what
Just
what
like
I was saying.
Those are your words.
This is what
You're
I'm saying.
so awkward.
Well, you see, and this is where Vaderin
No, this was
starts
a-
to
yeah, but-
try to mansplain a little bit because he thinks he knows it very well, and he's got most of it, but he definitely knows lots less than he thinks he does.
We gotta go to a game.
Oh yes, you have to see the Avarian Cavaliers. They're one of the most impressive teams I've ever seen.
Boo!
I think I just mixed them up, but that was kind of intentional.
Like, are the Cavaliers even in platinum or are they in silver? Would I know?
Oh, burn!
The Vaderin Cavaliers are in the Copper League right now. However, the Silverstand Sentinels got knocked down from the Mithril League down to the Silver League last year, so they're trying to fight their way back.
Ooh. Yeah. Silverstand's been rough for the last few seasons. I swear, every time.
I'm sure they'll make copper again in no time. They'll be on the top.
Need more lore. Jared.
Yo,
Who's the top of the heap? Who is Mithril fucking incarnate?
so the champion. Hang on, I'm going to write this down so I don't forget it.
Don't worry, I'm writing it down.
Well, I won't.
I'll send you my notes.
So the champions last year would have been the.
It's a collaborative doc now.
So that would have been the new Lundairn. The new Lundairn Wyverns. They've been the league champion for the last. Like they've won the World Cup for the last 2 years running. Before the Silverstand Sentinels have not won the cup in 4 years. After their legendary scout Anos Qatar retired. She took retirement. She won 3 World Cups and she was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm going out on top. The team really hasn't had a central figure to rally around, and their lack of leadership on the field has really shown. In the recent years.
Go sports. I'm so here for this. Poppy has a podcast. I'm just saying.
Is it when she talks about sports into a pod because she doesn't understand technology?
Maybe. To be determined. To be determined.
One of the druids sorry, I know it's still TBD, but one of the druids I got so tired of her talking sports to him. It's like, look, I have to go, but if you talk to this into this pod, I'll hear you. I'll hear you.
Here.
That was 10 years ago.
Poppy! What the fuck, guys? She just loves you all.
I know, but the druid had to go.
That seems like something Kevin would do.
Hey, bye, Steve.
That seems like something Kevin would do. Poppy, I can't deal with this right now. But here, if you talk into this, I'll listen to your podcast later.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of the phase ADHD and misunderstandings of technology.
I love
So
that.
where can I find this
Such a
podcast of
boomer.
yours? I'm kind of
It's like,
curious.
it's in this pod. Yeah.
She's such a boomer. She hands you the pod when she wakes up. Ask her later. Ask her later.
So anyway, getting back, So Kai just asked Ivy whether or not it was game day. How did Ivy respond?
Well, yeah, she took out her phone and was like, yes, it is definitely game day, and I think it just got out.
Oh god.
Oh no, it would have
Oh
just
god, we're
been
going to be here
it would
for an
just be
hour.
it would just be starting, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're just starting to let people in. So
And everyone's always late for game day because they don't think anyone else is going to get there on time. And oh god. Okay, traffic's going to be hell, kiddos. Buckle in. It's going to be like a foot every half hour.
Well, at least this gives us a chance to chat some more. We never, Vaderin, we never asked you how you know Vince.
Oh, Vince and I go back a short ways. I don't know him for a long time, but he's been a valuable contact just for the odd job here and there. Once I first moved here, he was one of the first people I happened to meet when I needed to support myself by selling some things at the pawn shop.
Were you able to buy them back, or?
I've found other things. I did not come here with much.
Okay, so not like you had to sell a dead wife's ring or something.
No, that is oddly specific, but
I have met some very hard done by people and with very tragic backstories in my line of work. It happens. Mr. Lafayette was a sweet old man.
sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. No, that was not the case for me.
What brought you to Silverstand then, recently?
A few things. Mostly just the reputation of the city is, impeccable, modern metropolis of people of all walks, and knowledge is something that has always been appealing to me as well, although I'm not so much the scholarly type, as you may have noticed, but it's still interesting to see what kinds of things are influencing people. And then, of course, I needed a job, and seemed like a good place to be.
Yes, normal. There are quite a few job opportunities in a metropolis like this. And rags, certainly.
Yes, and the regs, it beats the manual labor, that's for sure. Now wait, was you also know Vint, Kai?
The name sounds familiar. I think I've been by the pawn shop a few times because they definitely picked up something necrotic, and I'm like, hey, I gotta confiscate that. I'm sorry you paid for it, but that is definitely going to turn someone into something. You know, people buy artifacts and they don't know what they have. But the name, I don't...
you would have used him as an informant in the past. I do have that in the notes.
I have. Okay. I've bought information from him. And like, okay, I'll look away from this minor, necromantic thing that'll just, steal your life energy if you tell me where you got it, type thing. Do I know where the life energy is going? Probably not. Should I have taken it? Yes. Did I take it when he sold it and took it off the person he sold it to? Yeah. He got paid. That person was buying necrotic artifacts. I made an arrest. To be fair, he was dealing in much worse artifacts, that guy who bought it, so it worked out. Anyway.
If I recall, he's not in, and I kind of glance at the GPS, not in an excellent part of town.
Most of the pawn shops aren't, though. they're not called pawn shops when they're in a good part of town. They're called like consignment stores.
Oh. Or antique malls.
Yes.
It also depends on what your definition of a good part of town is. There are many good, upstanding citizens in some of these parts.
100%. Far more crime, though.
That's just it.
That
It's
is
the
true.
reputation of the place, not so much passing judgment on the people, but the things that tend to happen within the place, and sometimes the people that come from without into and cause the problems. But
And to be fair, there's a lot of crime uptown, but it's white collar.
yes,
Less stuff I deal. Well, no, actually, a surprising amount of white collar guys decide, ooh, eternal life. I should try to get that.
You dealt with a great deal of that.
Oh yeah. Any middle-aged guy with a modicum of money, starting to realize that his money hasn't gotten him a lot, tends to turn towards, ooh, I don't want to die, because I can't take my money with me. It happens.
And sex.
That too. One.
Sorry, PG-13 rating.
Yeah. You know, like, I think one guy I took down, amazing accent, but said something along the lines of, I became undead to F and live forever.
That would be thing.
The rub and tug of eternal life.
Yes. I mean, that's pretty blatant with what he wanted.
Oops.
Some people are simple.
But yeah, you know. Sorry, you were saying Vaderin, people are simple?
No, I was just saying for some people it is that simple. Whether or not it should be.
Yes. When everything's been about short-term gratification, realizing that you can't have too much more long-term, short-term. I guess. I think I've gone cross-eyed. Oh god, we've moved
You are
half a
driving.
block. Well, it's more like parking inconsistently at this point. We've moved half a block.
We could just walk.
Yeah, I'm not leaving my brother's car to get flipped in the middle of it. If we
You'll
wait-
come back to it on blocks.
But aren't you friends with the gang?
Yeah. Sorry, say
Sorry,
that
Jared,
again,
what?
Mila? Or Jared?
But aren't you friends with the gang? You'll be protected here. This is shitty enough of a car. It's not like it's your car.
The gangs wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Most of these parts barely function. No, it's the angry sports fans or the excited sports fans I'm worried about.
Oh, the mobs.
Yes. They see a van like this and they're like, oh, it's so square we can roll it so far. And she's back out. That's impressive. It's like
she
Miles.
sleeps
No.
kind of soundly, but
Then she comes back
selectively.
and has a full, like, 3-line part of the conversation. She's gone again.
yeah.
You know what? At that point, kind of crackles over the radio. And it's game day, sports fans. We are here in the wonderful Iverian Memorial, or Xanthar Ithak's Memorial Stadium. I'm Chet Velvin.
Oh, shush, listen, no, I can't hear it. Yeah,
I'm
keep going,
Chet Velvin.
let it cook.
Sorry, Vaderin. Sorry.
And I'm here with the innumerable, the knowledgeable, the wonderful, the beautiful Avon Makaris. Wonderful to be here today, Chet. Now, the Silverstand
Are
Sentinels.
you gonna double NPC yourself? Don't do this.
Oh, I'm double NPCing. Let's
Are
do
you
this.
gonna twin
Let's
NPC?
do this. We're doing Don Cherry and what the other guy's name was. Ugh.
Yeah,
We gotta do this.
The other guys.
I can't remember the other guy's name. I was never a hockey fan.
The other guy who didn't get
Yeah.
canceled.
I only remember Cherry because of how big a.
Other guy who didn't have amazing suits.
Well, Cherry was a train wreck. You knew it was going to be bad, but you know what? You couldn't look away.
But he loved his wife.
You did. Anyway, so wonderful to be here, Chen.
Ron
Ron
McLean.
McLean, yes.
So it's Mon McLean.
Ava McLean. We'll call her Ava McLean. All right. Well, Chet, it's do or die for the Sentinels today. They need another 16 wins in order to move back up to the Mithril League after their demotion last year, their relegation last year. And they're going to do it, Ava. They've got fire. And with this new Seeker, this Vanny Calith, they've really got a chance at it. Let's see what's going to go down today. Here in the Xanthus Memorial Stadium. I need to come up with a name for that. Hang on.
This just in, it's been bought by a cell phone company. Name it something one line.
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
Every
Couple minutes it changes.
It's called Skyreach now.
Rexstaff.
Skyreach Center.
The Rexstaff Memorial Arena. Here at Rexstaff Memorial Arena, it's Siege Ball Night in Silverstand. And
No, you can't. Copyright.
I just used 3 notes.
I believe that's the most amount you can do.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
New copyright.
Anyway, continuing on, you guys keep the conversation going between each other. Like,
I
Oh my God, Vaderin, are you so ready for this?
I'm
Where's
so ready
Ivy sitting?
for the net to be filled.
in the driver. She's in the passengers. You're in front of her on the dash.
Okay, I turn around so that I'm like fully facing her. And I'm like, Ivy!
Hey, a tail.
Yeah, my cat.
Have you seen Vanny in action? Oh my God!
I've watched a game or two, yes. What was that? I think you cut out, like, reached the threshold.
yeah, I think you cut your mic.
I said, I know, right? That's the point. Poppy is basically just giving you incomprehensible gibberish with the occasional word that you catch that is either a name or a position or a formation that you recognize the name of. But she is so amped that you're just like, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I once played Siege Ball, not professionally or anything.
I know, Ivy. I know. I remember your name.
It wouldn't have been something you'd know. It'd be like a high school type team.
No, Poppy definitely follows all of the high school teams, so she can say she's known every star since the beginning. And in her mind, as soon as she clocks Ivy in that context, it's like, you could have been top.
He's definitely a big enough nerd to do that.
Okay,
like,
if you want to go that way, let's
I
do
don't know
it.
the internet, but I know enough to get around it.
I just played, like, in school. I wasn't...
So you were famous then?
No, not by any means.
That's very humble of you.
Well,
Yeah, she's being humble. She was good. She had it.
Hi,
But
you
it's
should have
hard.
mentioned
It's
you were
hard.
dating a
It's hard.
sports superstar.
I'd hardly call it that at all. It was mostly, honestly, training. That was why my father wanted me to play. It was a way of having recreation and training at the same time. He always liked to double dip like that.
Very efficient. I respect that.
Do you still have
Hey,
the
Darren.
uniform?
She's being modest. She definitely still has the short side. Not Ivy. Hi. Hi, Kai.
Hi. You're awake now, fully.
She definitely still has the shards. Thank me later.
Okay.
I don't know if I fit them anymore, but I'm sure my uniform is somewhere in my effects, unless they've all been burnt at this point. I don't know.
Do you think your father has enough of rightful attention span to take time to do that, or would that be your brother thing?
I'm not sure. My mother probably kept them for sentimental value.
Then they might still exist.
Maybe.
I'm just going to be like, so the first time I got to see a game in the stadium was the game that got us relegated.
What a trash shoot that was! Oh my god! All of the officials should be fired!
I like to think that was the
Oh.
first game that Ivy kind of drug Kyie to, and they thought, you know, it was kind of like a date thing, just headcanon here, and it just went down in flames.
Like, I've never heard that many people exit a stadium so quietly. It was
The beginning
silent.
of the end. It was a dark time, Kai. It was a dark time. But we're over that now.
Yes, as long as Kai never goes to another live game.
Yeah, my
I
brother
think-
kind of said I was banned from live games.
Mm-hmm.
He purposefully said it was my fault.
You might be bad luck, honey. You
I-
shouldn't go. I'll
Yeah,
go,
that's-
but you shouldn't go.
Ivy,
Yeah.
I would love to invite you. It would be fun. But honey, no. No. For everyone's good. You need to stay home. You watch on TV.
Yes, that's what my brother
Ivy
says
and
too.
Poppy would know this, and Kyie too. The Sentinels got swept in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It was bad.
It was bad. That was those were expensive seats, and it was 20 minutes total if you count how long we got to sit in them.
Yes, if I recall, there were quite a few angry people yelling for refunds and whatnot.
Oh yeah, and then the silence.
And then,
It was
yes,
anger and then silence. It was bad.
I'm just picturing.
I don't like to think about that day.
The bodega's closed. They never closed. The bodega's closed that night.
Ivoc, you said you've never seen Siege Ball?
No, I have never even heard of this game before.
Oh my god, Ivoc, you're gonna have so much fun. You can come with me. Would you come with me?
I actually am kind of intrigued and I would like to see a game.
Bring your pipes!
Will they let them in
Oh.
the stadium?
Will they let them
We'll
in the
make
stadium?
sure. We'll make sure they can get in. I'm sure they'll love to have some support in playing. In fact, I think I even saw a team have a couple, there's a drum and everything. They have a bands. They hype them up all the time. I'm sure it'll be fine.
People bring in all sorts of loud.
Well, I'll definitely bring them if they let me. I don't want to get us kicked out though.
No, they won't. Well, is there
Couldn't your
metal in
cell
pipe?
phone tell you? I have a headache, guys.
That's because you drank. I'll look back. How much of the refresher do you think she drank?
Like at least my body mass.
That one's
Oh god, there's still some left in the.
God.
Ivy, Vaderin, to the back of you, there should be a flat of water. Could you hand one of those up?
It's Vaderin.
He reaches around and just.
Vaderin, I'm sorry.
Oh, I think I pulled something, but
I
Here we
have
go.
a cousin named Vaderin, and that's why. Okay. That is now
Need
canon.
my V characters apparently.
Yeah. So I'll pass Poppy a bottle of water that's also basically the size of her body. It's like, you need to hydrate, sweetheart. That's a lot of caffeine for your tiny fey body.
I'm fighting every urge within my body to like pour it over my head right now.
Let's go. Actually, you mind if I tie into that moment? At that moment, you hear, and they're off! And, oh, that's a... Vanny takes to the first echelon, dodges a spell work by Catherine. Oh, she's just leapt over decks. She's into the second field, and she's got it! Can she get away? Everyone trying to take her out with the blade. She swoops. She scores! Then,
That took no time at all.
Vanny Ethris has successfully split the field here in the first round. I believe they're fighting. Did I say they were against the Cavaliers or the Wyverns? Or the Whitehawks?
Wyverns.
The Whitehawks.
No, yeah, right.
And the Whitehawks now have to divide their forces to defend two separate echelons. Oh, all right, and that's where I'm going to cut it. I imagine that's the point where where Poppy just about loses it with the water bottle.
Oh!
It mostly gets in Ivy's lap.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, there's more. There's more in the back if you actually
Throw it
want
up
to
your
get
head.
into it.
and just-
Oh,
That's,
I'm sorry, honey. That's not gonna rust, is it?
No.
Those are oil treated.
It will be fine. Yes. I've been through more water than this. Oof. It's always so uncomfortable having wet armor.
I open the side, like the little console in the middle, and just pull out so many napkins that I know that, like, my brother eats out constantly and just stuffs napkins in there. I'm like, here you go.
He's a napkin hoarder.
Y'all
That'll
I'm tired.
look. It's valid. It's valid.
Art imitates life.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll dab myself dry.
I'm sorry. I don't know prestidigitation.
Oh,
I think I'd have at
it's-
least one functional spell.
It's just water. It's just water. It'll be fine. Anyways, let's focus back on we're having lovely conversation, right?
Hey guys, we're here.
Where?
Isn't this new to you? Isn't this the place?
I look out. Is it new to you, or is it just 2 blocks up from where we were?
They're just a traffic light.
Yeah. Just a traffic light. Well, this might be new to you personally, Ivy. Not Ivy, Poppy. This is.
There
just
is a
traffic
guy
light.
in a Sentinel's jersey. He's doing the monkey crawl up the frickin' pole, and he gets up the top, and he's hanging off the streetlight at this point.
Oh, dear no. Oh,
Guy's like, I'm not on duty. I'm not my responsibility. I don't have to deal with game day shenanigans.
one second. I just like crank down the window and I lean out and I'm like, "Hey, you!
Huh?
Get down from there!"
Screw you, hippie!
Is this really how people act before the game? I
Yes,
can't wait. I want to see what happens
Full game.
after the game.
This is why we need to get to a safe parking zone before the game ends.
As you guys just get past, hang on, I'm just going to roll for this. Actually, I'll get Roya to roll because she's driving. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
My stats are flat.
Your stats.
That's cocked? Okay. Okay, 15.
15. You are deft. As you guys watch, the guy, as he's yelling down to yell at Ivy, his grip kind of loosens a little because he's only on one hand to kind of give her the bird, and the other hand slips, and you speed up just enough to get right up to the bumper of the car in front of you, and unfortunately the guy behind you kind of is keeping pace, and as you watch, this guy comes down off the lamppost, falls about 10 feet down, bang, right into the guy's hood behind you, leaving a dent. I'm okay!
Well,
Ugh.
I'm like, Do we call that in? We are witnesses. I'll just text the it's the ambulance line for game day. It's like this location, guy hit car windshield from above.
You probably have a few EMT friends who are still in the service, but yeah, there's not really a.
No, I feel like there is an EMT group, like game day group chat for this reason. Like, please let us know where stupid people are. And I was just like, hey, here we go. Dropped a pin. There you go. There we go. I've done my civic duty. The guy will get medical attention. And traffic will be worse behind us.
Sorry, that was a distracting moment. Back to you guys.
So he climbed a light pole, fell off onto a car.
Behind him. Yeah, completely
Windshield?
shattered the windshield. Like he fell onto the hood and just bang. Left a dent. Like, have you ever seen somebody fall onto one of the cars? They're meant to crumple, right? So if you fall onto one of those hoods, it leaves a massive dent.
It's my least favorite part of Siege Bowl is the fans.
Usually, I only see them when they're watching the game at home, and they're just in the stadium, pushing, shoving, shouting, doing the whoosh and
The wave!
The wave, yes, that's the one. But I've not seen them so up close and personal. Are we going to see more like this?
It's only going to get worse. Yep. Sorry. You first, Ivy, sorry.
Oh, just the closer we are to the stadium, the more you'll see.
Alrighty then. So Vaderin just kind of like keeps his gloves off, anticipating the potential need to heal other people who are outside of the vehicle but nearby for similar reasons.
The police academy, barracks, residence is right by the stadium, actually. So we saw a lot. I think it was training for the fact that like half of the street beat cops gig is going to be game day violence. But yeah, you saw a lot. It got weird on game days.
No violence, just passion. Just passion, honey.
Yes, a totally flipped car is just passion.
Sometimes they're the same.
Oh.
This is why I think my father never encouraged any sort of professional pursuit of Siege Bowl.
I'll just.
It was good for practice, but
Never mind. Continue on. Sorry.
it was good for practicing, and learning certain tactics for melee combat and defense, but not exactly the type of life that he wanted for me.
What's your familiar's name?
This is Addie.
What's it
Addie.
short for?
It's short for advantage. And her brother is Dex, which is short for dexterity check. So they're dexterity check and advantage.
Nerd.
Yeah, but she's so sweet. She's my snuggle bug.
Well, it sounds like the broadcast is on the break while they're taking the 15 or whatever. But Ivoc, did you not grow up playing sports or what? You've never heard of sports Siege Bowl, but what? Do you have sports spec where did you come from? I forget.
Who are you
Ivoc.
asking?
Oh, me.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I don't really have a specific place I'm from.
Right. But
I never was really around enough people to see many sports games or anything like that. So I kind of grew up in the wilderness a bit.
like the wilderness, or like when we say the wilderness, we mean the small towns.
When I say the wilderness, I mean the wilderness. My family was kind of chased away from most of the highly populated areas, so.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Like how I grew up. I mean,
Sorry.
maybe yours went by a little quicker, though.
Let's get back to talking about Siege Ball.
Absolutely. In fact, I think they just came back from a break.
Well, yeah, no,
Sorry.
I was just waiting until, like, you hear another upswell as this one, as a booing, Carbus comes in, bang! Terrace with the shield! Oh, Carbus is down!
Yes, we love a good shield bash, yes.
And they're carrying him
But
off
that
the
was the other
field.
team.
Looks like that. Looks
He's
like
one of
this
ours, isn't he?
game is over for the White Hawks Star Scout.
Yeah!
You're right.
Show
You're
them
right.
what it's all about!
And then comes the substitution.
Is that who we want to win?
Yeah, we want him out.
Oh.
It's the White Hawks Scout that just got bashed by Calvary, one of the defenders for the Sentinels. And here comes the substitution. And Eva Coas. She started her career as a range defender for the Caribou City Crows, but after 3 seasons, she seems to have found her place here as a scout. This will be only her 3rd game in this position. I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. Hey, what do you think, Aya? Well, you can never know with a unknown like Inva, and it's always a challenge to plan for those unknowns. That could work in the White Hawks' favor as we move forward. Anyway, the first period is continuing, but I want to focus more on you guys and what's going on with the game, if that's okay. I'll split it when...
I have a question about... I have a lore question about the sport. Is it a co-ed sport?
It is a co-ed sport.
Or is
It's
it
a co-ed
just a-
sport.
Okay.
So most sports and or combat units in this world are completely gender neutral. Doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, anything in between. You are seen as capable enough as long as you bring the skills to the table that you need to succeed in that role.
And I assume there's also no, like, well, other than, like, they probably don't have full unpolymorphed dragons on the field. There aren't any racial limitations either.
Not really, no. Certain people are... so for the folks at home, with our character creation, we decided to go with a race-neutral approach to D&D, which means that you could select a stat block from any of the species in the player's handbook and apply it to any appearance of character. For instance, if you wanted the orc stat block, but you wanted to be a tiefling, you could do that. You just had to create a backstory reason for why you had those stats. So there isn't...
That's Poppy miming a sidebar.
So there's really no reason. There's really no racial bias there, other than you have to fit within certain size limits. You can't be over 8 feet tall, for instance, to play within a league like this. And dragons typically prefer skyracks, which is a traditional dragon sport when they are in their natural forms.
But you can be
Sorry?
tiny. But you can be tiny.
You can be tiny, yes. In fact, one of the most successful the seeker I was talking about previously. Gotta go back to my notes.
It's a scout. This isn't Quidditch.
I don't think I said her name.
Yeah, you did. Her name was Ava
Ava
McLean.
no, that's the
She's
announcer.
that's the announcer.
Well, that's right.
We're coming up with so
Lauren
many NPCs
McLean.
right now that aren't even on screen. They're just
Wait a
in a
minute.
radio broadcast and also in the
Talith
world.
Vestas.
Because
Yeah.
now
She was
sport.
actually a halfling. The seeker who led the Silverstand
Scout.
Sentinels, and this is the
Oh. Her name was Vanny
no,
Cal.
that's the new one. Vanny Calithet.
No, that was a different Vanny. That was Vanny Ethris. I'm taking notes.
Okay, then I used the wrong last name for Vanny. Sorry.
He has a podcast. Listen to her.
Vanny Ethris, the new seeker for the Whitehawks, as opposed to Vanny Calith, the OG.
Seeker for scout.
Also
for
a scout,
the
not a seeker.
Silverstand. Yeah.
Sorry.
J.K. Rowling, get out. J.K. Rowling, get out. J.K. Rowling,
Yeah,
I
we'll
Harry
refuse you.
Potter here.
Fuck that
Sorry, I
bitch.
must have screwed up.
Oh,
We'll call it Talith Kestis then.
Which one?
The old one
Who?
was
Holly?
Talith
What?
Kestis. Kestis.
Alith?
Calith?
Yeah, TALATHECATIS.
Castis. Got it. Podcast. Check out my podcast. It's called
No, you gotta say it in the Poppy voice.
The Podcast.
Jesus, I'm gonna have to create a whole book just based on these old NPCs.
Don't worry, I'll make it for you.
Okay, so
Addendum to be added.
she was actually a halfling, so she was able to be very nimble on the field. Her size granting her an advantage. Vanny takes a different approach. Vanny is a red dragonborn, and she tends to plow through the defenses of her foes by just sheer speed and ferocity. Like most scouts, they try to avoid combat wherever possible. Vanny, she just punches you in the head and keeps going. She takes a very aggressive tone to her movement. Like, she doesn't try to avoid as much as other scouts. She just plain on decks you out.
Fuck, dudes, that's real life Mila.
Anyway,
Did I ever tell you guys that my ex called me the bulldozer? You're welcome.
and that's Vanny's new nickname, the Bulldozer.
So, Kai's just like, okay, what are... I'm like, because we're stopped starving so much, I pull up my text thing and I'm like, voice to text. Car emoji, what is the name of the sport again?
Siege Ball.
Siege ball.
Car emoji, siege ball emoji, crying face, siege ball fan emoji, crying face, crying face, light post, crying face, time
Bulldozer.
emoji.
You get a response like 3 seconds
What
later.
does this mean ball emoji look like?
What shape is a siege
Uh,
ball? It's an orb.
It's just an orb essentially. It's a glowing. It's an orb with a bunch of handles around it so that you can grab a hold of it and haul it. Like, it looks like a medicine ball with like 3 different handles on it.
Above, like, the tower.
Yeah, so a siege ball emoji would be on the top of a tower, and maybe somebody climbing on it and grabbing it to run. You do get a text back a second later. Facepalm emoji, fuck my life, fuck red face emoji, and then ambulance emoji.
Yeah, that was to Neon, by the way. Just like this is where I'm at, and then it's going to just in voice to text. Luckily, not my car, but traffic is terrible.
Thumbs up. The gentleman texting back is a guy by the name of Rex. You happen to know that he and his husband tend to take game days as a couple just so that they can double up their income. They're dinking it. Double income, no kids. And this is... Yeah, they complain about game days all the time, but every time they sign up for the shift.
Sorry, so that there was that to the EMT.
Yeah, that's
chat,
Rex.
But I was also just letting Neon know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I'm saying that the string of emojis was for Neon to let them know.
Oh, sorry.
That we're.
I thought that was to the wrong tab. Sorry. If you sent that to Neon, then you just get a bunch of laughing emojis and then a camera.
Yeah.
She wants pictures.
And I'll be like, Neon wants pictures of the traffic. But I'm assuming Rex is the one who got the stuff from the update, so knowing they're on their way. Might see you, depends how slow traffic is to Rex.
Got it. On our way. All right, continuing on, guys.
Yeah.
You hear a mighty upswell as... Oh! Vanny bulldozes another one of the defenders. Cathris is down with a knee right to the face. She launches herself into the air. She's got the ball. Can she do it? Here she comes. Ava's voice cuts in. She's making her way through the crowd. She's on a breakaway. Yes! You just hear an eruption through the radio.
Intercept!
No, that's...
Poppy just starts shouting over
Yeah,
the
no,
radio.
that's the one you want to... Vanny is the one with the siege ball right now. So, yeah.
She's the one you want.
She's on the White Hawks.
No,
She's the
Vanny
enemy.
is the new seeker for the Sentinels.
No, you said that the alternate seeker for the Sentinel, because the White Hawk Sentinel seeker
That's
got
Eva.
taken.
That's
now.
Eva.
Don't worry.
Eva was the alternate.
Okay.
Vanny was...
Time to put it in the Google Doc. We got to share
need a
this.
flowchart. We need a flowchart.
I'm an idiot. I should have had this. I should have had a whole fantasy draft going. I didn't think...
Don't worry, buddy. I'm writing it down. I'll give you the play-by-play.
But it was
later.
Eva who was the replacement. I remember that. I'll play back the video later. But yeah, Eva was the seeker for the... damn it, now you got me doing it. Rowling, get the hell out of here. We don't need your turf ass. Eva was the scout for the White Hawks that came in, who was the previous defender. Vanny is for the Sentinels. She's their brand new star, their shining hope. And she could go all the way! And the crowd just erupts, and you can hear a thud as the siege ball strikes the turf, resounding off.
I just take the water bottle away from Poppy as she starts to celebrate.
I imagine Poppy
Here we go.
Poppy's doing a whole bee dance.
As someone who's used to being next to loud bagpipes, I have plugged my ears because Poppy's being too loud.
I imagine her bees are losing their shit along with her, like just going all out.
Yeah.
Are they in the car too?
Oh, fuck yeah. The car right now is chaos. It's a good thing that traffic is basically at a standstill.
I'm just gonna roll the window down.
We're gonna have to get it, but now there's all the honking of victory and stuff. It's like, roll it back up, roll it back up. Sports.
Wait,
Oh, God.
come inside the Jackie number, whatever. Okay, there we go.
Ivy is keeping very calm and
That was good.
collected as she is used to being in high pressure, stress situations, and is just like, this is normal.
This is fine.
Ivy is the
Fine.
one point of calm
Is
in
it
this
always
entire
loud
storm.
when this happens?
Sorry, I didn't catch anything of what you two said, Jared and Trav. I didn't hear either. You were at the
Travis
same
first.
time.
Oh. I just said, is it always this loud when this happens?
Yes. Yes. Sometimes louder.
Oh boy.
And I was just saying, Ivy is just this one point of calm in the entire storm of shit that's just flying loose. At this point, you can see people weaving through traffic, just kind of doing the hoop. You have one particular set of youthful celebrants who throw their pants up in the air, and they're just running around completely pantless. Shirts go next, shoes.
No.
There's some streaking going on now.
Okay. Again, I am not on duty. This is not my responsibility. I do not have to arrest anyone for public indecency. It's not my job. And I'm just going to be like, please, God, find me another route. I'll go underground if I have to. And I'm starting to like.
Funnily enough for Ivy, a few of them are actually throwing off Silver Order uniforms, and you recognize a couple of them as junior members who might be out on leave, who are just, caught up in the moment.
Well, good to see that my father's keeping things in order.
Yep. It's like, that's what he does. Of course, yes.
How long has he been
That was
in the leadership position of this capacity?
Has it been like all my life?
He's been rising the ranks all your life, but as for his ascension to Grandmaster, it would have been a good 7 years before you left the Order.
Okay.
He is the most recent Grandmaster. The one before him, if I wrote that down, the one before him passed away about 7 years before you left, and at that point a conclave was held, and your father rose to the position.
Okay.
Do you mind if I give you a little bit of a memory there?
Sure.
The uniforms were. It was one of the few situations where you had to wear a full dress uniform, and just having the collar stuck up right under your neck. Like, your father would have been high ranked even before this. He would have been. Hang on, I gotta call up my notes here. So before he was Grand Master, he would have been a Grand Cross Knight. And before that, he would have been a High Seneschal. Probably about the time that that Ivy and Arvon were born, he would have been High Seneschal before very swiftly being promoted up the Grand Cross tree, I believe, and that goes from 1 to 6 bars. So he would, over the course of your early years, he's climbing the ranks as a general, the Grand Cross Knight, and then he would have been elected Grand Master some time ago.
Okay. Okay, then to answer Vaderin, he's been there for years at this point, something like 7 or so. Not quite a decade, but I'm sure he'll make it there.
You don't hold a particular love for him or the position, or both? I can't quite tell.
Let's just say that juniors wouldn't be running about quite like this were it a few years ago.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know. I've only been here a couple of years, so yeah, good to know.
The order's not what it used to be.
Roya, you're
Roya,
muted.
Yep. I just said I'm muted, and then you both said it. Kai will give Ivy's knee a little comforting rub and squeeze of like, hey. You know, it also doesn't want to outwardly say it, I would fight your father 1v1 at a pit, but there's a little look. If somebody sees in the rear view, Kai's very glowing eyes. If glowing eyes could somehow get a little dark, they do. I'm just like, this man hurt the person I love.
Okay. How does Ivy respond to that look?
Just I think kind of with a like a knowing like look of just like, but like a I know, but that's fine. Sort of like let's not get into that. Let's just like, I know, sweetie, thank you, kind of thing.
Like, yeah. Yes. Although 20-something young men who are very wound up tend to find some way to let loose. And women, and anybody. Like, high-pressure situations need a vent of some kind, and sports gives a lot of society that.
It's true.
And apparently Poppy that.
She was totally just about to correct you, but she let you fix it yourself.
Poppy's totally cursing the fact that she left her jersey back in the hall, isn't she?
Have we made any headway in the traffic, or are we still like basically at the
You've
same
basically
light?
moved about 6 blocks at this point.
Oh, that's further than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. How far of our originally would-be 20-minute journey have we gotten?
Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We'll speed it up here right away.
Kai is desperately like, come on. There's got to be a way that isn't as, hey Rex, is there anywhere where there's a clear path between us and this area that you've seen? They got to be keeping some lanes clear for emergency vehicles.
He texts you a route not too far off.
Okay. Hey, Vaderin, can you pass me my bag in the back? I'm going to do something slightly unethical.
Which one are we talking about?
The one with the red and blue tape on the handles.
Oh, red tape. Okay.
Red and blue tape. Yep. And I'm going to take out the slap-on police light sirens.
Heck yeah.
And as soon as we get to Nocturne, I slap that on top.
Now we're breaking the law to get there faster.
Just slightly. I am still an officer.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, you were decommissioned. I believe you were.
Oh yeah,
you were decommissioned. So if you get caught, hang on, I got to roll for. Are you going to do this?
I am because I know I still have friends. I was only decommissioned because we were too effective. It was a tax cut thing.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Should I roll?
No, I've already rolled. I'm gonna tell you how things go.
I hit it and I pull into another area and I just start going, and I will just go for enough to get out of here, and then I'll pull it in and turn it off.
So as you turn off on Hardgrove, which is set aside for emergency use, and you've got that light going on your top, you actually see a black and blue which is the Silverstand
Oh, boy.
PD cruisers, pull out of an alley and just do it, lights and sirens. It kind of cocks you and then pull.
It.
Oh, good.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Well, I'm just going to pull something. I'm going to be like, okay, pull over.
Here we go.
So as you pull,
Yeah, I'm going
as
to
you
pull
pull
over.
over, the cop
Can I roll?
kind of
luck?
pulls himself out of the car and slams the door, and he kind of saunters up, his hand firmly on his gun grip, and as he kind of raps on your window, license and registration.
I look over. Do I recognize him?
Give me. I'm gonna say you might have seen him around. You can't really remember a name. The badge says.
Can I roll?
Yeah, sure.
Poppy just like slides off the dash.
Give me a
underneath
history
the
check.
Front console.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm talking to.
Okay, so that's a where's history? That's 22.
22. You would know of this guy. You guys really wouldn't know each other, but you know of him. His name's McLean. He's a bit of an asshole.
But does he know I've been decommissioned? Would he know?
That would be a roll on my side. Hang on. That's an 8. I'm going to say that he would not know.
Yeah, McLean, long time no see.
Do I know you?
Bluff check.
Yeah. This is
Me?
not. That is not lie. It's been a long time. Yeah. No. Freaking Von Warren. Duh.
The Havren case.
Yeah, the Vaderin case. You were good on that, man.
What the hell? And then he kind of steps back and looking at the side.
I'd like, look, it's hard to get to a stakeout station in the vehicle when you can't freaking get 3 blocks. We have a timeline to be on, man.
You know what? Just because you're in the van that you're in, I'm going to give you disadvantage on this roll.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no way
God.
in hell this.
Can I give her a bardic inspiration?
Yes, please. So this is persuasion, deception,
Deception.
probably.
Deception.
Okay.
Ivoc's gonna chime in. He's just reading.
No, I already said I want to give her a
That's
bardic
a 15. That's a 15. With a -1
D8.
and the bardic. That's a 15.
D8. It's a D8 you add.
Oh, it's a D8?
Yeah, because we leveled up.
17.
Yeah.
You just passed. He rolled a 16.
That bardic came in clutch.
What the hell kind of neighborhood are you staking out in this thing?
One with a lot of porn stores and pawn shops.
Tidewater?
Worse.
Keep it out of the emergency lanes and just keep it below the speed
Yes,
limit.
I know that's kind of blowing it, but no one's going to remember seeing this van with lights on it in 20 minutes. You know that.
And get a car seat for the
And
Pixie.
can do me a favor and... Yeah, I'll flip him... I'll be like, thank you, I'll pass him, here, I'm not going to be able to use this for a day or two, and it's, I remember his coffee order type thing, and I pass him, I know you go through a lot, and I pass him a half-used Starbucks Arcane Doubloons gift card. Can you not tell people I kind of blew my cover immediately? That would be great.
Yippee-ki-yay. And he takes it and walks away. Sharayah gets
And I
it!
will
Sharayah
stuff
figured
my
it out!
Yeah. I figured it out pretty... Good luck with the wife, by the way!
Yeah. I'll be lucky if she doesn't throw me down an elevator shaft. And he kind of waves goodbye as he heads back to his car.
And I'll shove the lights that I definitely shouldn't still have back in to my bag and hand it to Vaderin and drive very carefully and well.
So what did we learn about breaking the law?
That as long as the guy doesn't remember you, it's fine. Not do it.
Yes, there you go.
Yippee-ki-yay. I kind of like that. What does it mean?
I don't know. He said it a lot, though. I think it's cultural.
Okay, maybe I won't appropriate, but it sounds fun.
Funnily enough, the first time you heard this was in the locker, room where after the change rooms where you guys were getting ready for a shift. He made a bet that he could roll duct tape up his back and draw a pistol off his back. And when he went to rip it out, he took a chunk of hair off his neck, and the gun didn't move. Like it took 3 guys to hold him down and reef this duct tape off his neck, and he essentially waxed his back with duct tape.
That's the better kind of boys will be boys.
Oh, gosh.
And of course, because he had a patch at that point, they just decided, well, screw it. They held him down, slid the duct tape over his back, and said, "Ready, man? No! Yippee-ki-yay!"
I was not there for the holding down part.
It was consensual. He said, "You know what? At this point, I've got a big patch in my back. Let's get the rest of it." He grabbed the bench and said to his buddies, "Hold me down!" And yeah, it was completely consensual.
I did not partake too.
No.
Kai's just like, the thing that gets me about decommissioning the whole undead special task unit is you know the first freaking moment that they have a surge of zombies in the basement of some old building, or like a vampire raver outbreak like in 2005, that are going to be banging at my door. But then I will be contractor rate and it'll cost them 5 times as much, and I will pay for my own benefits. I'm fine. I'm great.
Honey, just focus on the road.
Yes. And not on the fact that they decised one of the only functional units in the police force. I know.
Maybe we should shift topics.
Healthcare is so expensive. Okay, I'm good. And I just grab my coffee that I haven't had yet, and I just take the longest sip as I drive.
My favorite part about Mila unmuting is that she said it so loud that her mic didn't respond.
That's true.
Well, then it's just accurate.
Hypersonic.
All right.
You all cringe.
After a couple more minutes of this, or let's say about 10 minutes of moving down these back streets in parallel to the major traffic jam, you finally come out in the outskirts towards the into the Tidewater district of like the Tidewater rundown of Silverstand, where New TU and where New TU and the Greasy Spoon, let's call it a Rennie's. Rennie's, the restaurant, are situated. You move yourself.
Is it Renaissance themed? Please tell me it's a Renaissance themed.
I wouldn't call it Renaissance themed. It's more that there was some guy named Rennie who started a store, and on the walls, you can see all kinds of memorabilia, and the booths are like those old 1960s plush versions with in this it would be like the 1500s plus version chairs with the spoilers out the sides. There's model cars on the walls in cases that really don't look like
velour everywhere. Everything is velour.
Pretty much, yeah. It hasn't been quite cleaned enough. Like, it would be nice decor, except the grease from the kitchen is kind of wafted out, and it just blankets everything. You guys aren't there yet, but you've been here enough times that you kind of know what it's like. Anyway, so after a few minutes, you find yourself free of traffic, and you are now pulling up to the area. You do have parking at the Rennies, or you can have another lot that's over by the by New to You. Which one do you guys want to park at?
Now, where do you think we should park, honey?
I'm going to park at the Rennies, if only because I don't want the new for you guy trying to scour the van for parts.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair. Smart play.
Yeah.
Are we all going in?
That's a good question. They might still know me as a cop, so maybe not.
You did tell him to come alone. I mean, like, that's not really fair if we all gang up on him. But we can sit at the next booth.
Oh, you mean
I'm
with
sub.
Neon? With Neon?
sub.
I told Neon to come alone because I can't feed 15 kids. Not that
Guy?
we're big on him.
Yeah, Vince just said to bring a wallet. Huh?
So do you guys want to split up? Half
what
go
better
with
wallet is than 5 customers?
5 customers.
Yes, I'm fine going with Vaderin if you'd like to talk to Neon. Kyie.
I can do that.
Wait, this place is not called Denny's, it's called Venny's?
Rennies.
Rennies.
RENNY.
Just had to get my P's and
Yes.
P's.
Apostrophe S. Yeah.
Poppy, do you want to come with me and meet Neon?
Hell yeah! I mean, sure.
Okay, maybe we get you some. No, tea also has caffeine. How do you decaffeinate a Fae?
There's herbal
Let's
tea.
decaffeinate a Fae.
Cheesecake?
That's sugar. Ivoc, do you want to come
that?
with?
Ew.
Oh, maybe.
Honey. Give me honey.
Okay.
I'll have a honey water. Hot
Okay,
water
we
with
got-
honey, please.
Okay, that possibly can't get any worse. Sure. Ivoc, do you want to go with Team A or Team Highly Caffeinated?
I feel like you're gonna need help with the team highly caffeinated, so I think
I
I'll
feel
come with
so
you.
too. Okay.
All right. So if we're splitting the party, let's start with Sharayah or with Ivy and Vaderin, and then we'll pick up with Team Highly Caffeinated afterwards.
So we're
Alright.
first.
Yeah. So as Kyie pulls into the restaurant parking lot, you find yourself in. It's not the seediest part of town, but damned if it isn't close. The street sweepers haven't been by in weeks. Trash is building up a little bit in the gutters, and it's got that old garbage smell that you get around dumpsters sometimes. The walls of the various shops, some of them have been attempted to be painted, have attempts at whitewashing the brick to kind of make it look newer, but where the bricks have kind of chipped and fallen away a little bit, it just makes it look even more run down. Across the street from where you guys park, you see one of these buildings that has stubbornly resisted the whitewash, and just kind of looks like a bashed toe. Essentially, it's a brick building that looks like somebody just took a frying pan to every single surface on it and beat it as hard as it could. But despite that, it looks like that old man that just got up and gave somebody the middle finger for doing so. It's leaning ever so slightly to one side. You can see water damage coming down the stone on the front. And on the front, there's a brilliant sign in neon letters, starting with purple, then pink, then blue, then red, that reads, New to You. So NU to You. Pawn, consignment, and loans. And then in the window you can see a flashing sign that says, We take gold.
Yep.
All right, so what do you guys want to do?
Hi, this place is cute.
We're going to the Rennies.
So unfortunately, this is
You're
this
coming
is our
with me,
stop.
puppy.
Do
I'm
you just
sure
like
that-
grab my hand and pull me along?
I'm just like I offer you my finger. I'm like, we're going over here. Yes, the pawn shop's very shiny, but we're going to go hang out with Neon. Remember?
No, that's what I meant. This place is cute. I start dragging you
Okay.
along
To the
by
pawn
your
shop?
finger. No,
Or
into
to the Rennies?
into the Rennies.
Into the Rennies. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm just going to text. We're here. Traffic sucked.
I'm going to
to the
order
island.
an obscene amount of food, FYI.
Oh God, my wallet.
That feels about right.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So with that, what does Team Pawn Shop want to do?
Well, Vaderin, this is your contact. Why don't you lead the way?
Yeah, very well. He will very casually stroll towards the door, just kind of glance at. I assume like this is also like whatever few windows there are all like barred and stuff, right?
like it's not just regular barring; it's that crisscrossing stuff, like the extra secure stuff, and you can see that it's actually structurally screwed into the walls. Like it would take a bomb to take these off. And Ivy, you would actually take note of this just for simple fact that you actually. I'm going to give you advantage on it. Give me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Just for sheer.
22.
You notice that the window panes are actually double thick Lexan bulletproof. Or I can't use Lexan. Like they're a double sheeted bulletproof glass, almost 3 inches thick.
Okay.
So whoever owns this place
Wow.
has basically fortified it to the nines. As you step in, you can actually see that there's a steel plate running the length of the inside of the wall behind the various computer parts and everything shunted off to one side. The old bikes and tools piled in on another set of shelves. And then at the far end, behind all this second-hand treasure, shall we call it, there sits a old balding halfling. He's actually sitting on a high stool and he's reading what looks to be a trashy novel. He's got the paperback folded up and over, and he's giggling lasciviously to himself, like just.
So by a high stool, you mean like a normal stool?
Yeah, like one of the ones that's wound up. That's
Happening, right?
like a high stool, not a high chair, a high stool.
Okay, so as we enter, is there like a kind of jingle or whatever?
Ding dong. He kind of looks up at you.
Okay.
Vaderin, wondered when you would come by.
Well, here I am. Is there work?
Well, you asked me about the magical beasts that had been, shall we say, making their way into interesting quarters.
Oh, yes, of course. I thought you meant yes. Yeah.
I was wondering when you'd get here. Get caught in the game day traffic, did you?
Yes, not been a passenger in such climate before, but yes, it's certainly an experience. I don't envy your location given the crowds outside.
Well, we won't have to deal with it down here, but the rest of the city is going to be jammed for the next hour or so. That's why I only watch the games up top, and he points up and you can see there's a TV playing in the background. They'll find a way to screw it up. They always do. So, and he kind of licks his finger, dog ears the page, and slams it down. Let's get to business then. How much is this information worth?
Good question. I should probably introduce a colleague, new colleague of mine. This is Ivy.
And he kind of rakes you up and down, looking you over. Nice armor. Don't suppose you're in the market to pawn it. I've got
No, I don't suppose
I've
I
got a
am.
nice set of of triple weave Kevlar with iron plates. If you ever change your mind.
I'll keep that in mind.
Silver Order.
What gave it away? My stoicism.
Your sword. Silver Order's the only one who uses double fuller blades like that.
Very astute. Yes. So the dogs. Just looking for any kind of information. Part of a regular assignment. I'm sure you're familiar with those. What is it going to cost?
These are dangerous men, Vaderin. They aren't so friendly to kneecaps of people who have wagging tongues, shall we say. I'd be putting myself in a great deal of risk.
How much are those kneecaps worth? They seem old.
Ooh, give me an intimidation check on that one.
Okay. Oh, I rolled so bad.
Ah.
6.
He kind of does a handstand on the table before doing like an acrobatic little flip. My knees will still be worth more than your pretty butt until the day they put me in the ground. But my information...
That's a little creepy, but okay.
He is a little bit of a creep. He's definitely given off that weird uncle that you go as far away from at a family reunion as you can vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But as for my information, I'd say 4,000 ought to do it.
And how much do we have?
So you would have $27,000. We're talking dollars here.
And he said, what did he say? 1,000
4,000.
or 4,000?
Well, it really makes me wonder who are these people who are threatening the kneecaps.
The kind that don't give warning shots. You heard of the Phalangia Umbra?
Huh?
Wait.
The
what was that?
Phalangia
For
Umbra.
what? Can you spell that?
Great. Now I have to.
Phalange
Yeah.
as in finger?
Yeah.
Phalange of darkness.
Dark fingers, yes. So Filangia.
That's not how you spell phalanges.
It's a fantasy world.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the
Fantasy
best
phalanges.
I can. And then Umbra. Umbra.
Okay.
Of course I had to misspell a bone in front of the in front of the person who knows every freaking bone in the human body.
Biomechanics,
yes, the biomechanicist. Biomechanicist.
So do we know that?
Yeah,
Have
can I
heard
roll
of-
like a
Well, you
history
can roll a
check?
history check if you want.
Nat 20!
16.
So both of you would know the
Yay!
Phalangia Umbra is from the further east. Gallia and the Gallic Republic, and even parts further east. They tend towards the Severic region, is where they started. Extremely brutal, very, very unforgiving. They've not been too bad of a problem in Silverstand. For some reason, they seem to have a hard time gaining roots here, but in recent years, it seems like they've established a presence, along with the Ryugian Avarica and a few other crime families losing ground to them.
Okay.
They tend towards an oath of silence in regards to the to potential members, and they enforce it with extreme prejudice. It would have come across your father's desk that they would be a security threat, at least insofar as some of its members tend towards not only organized crime, but they occasionally dabble in intelligence operations to pad their pockets.
Okay.
As far as with Vaderin, I'm going to say you might have had a personal run-in not too long ago with these folks. They would have been extorting people who wanted to get onto ships to Silverstand from the ports on the mainland. There is a quote-unquote head tax. How would Vaderin have dealt with that?
So, meaning extorting the people who want to move to Silverstand.
Or anywhere really. If you get on a ship at any of those ports, there's a good chance that you're going to have to pay a sizable amount of money to the Phalangia Umbra.
I mean, that might be part of the reason why Vaderin didn't end up coming to Silverstand with much, as anything that he had acquired previously might have had to go towards that.
Okay. So he would have paid them off at that point. Good to know. All right.
Or come close to, and maybe that was part of the initial in with, or if there was a point of contact, then it was like, oh, I'll make it up with some labor on the other end or something.
Okay. We'll deal with that in a few minutes. So, you can understand.
So he asked us if we've heard of them.
And he kind of looks you both in the eye and he sees the slight recognition in both of you. So you might understand why I'm a little reticent of talking to you about their particular brand of business.
So,
4,000 is a lot, though.
Vaderin, side bar, please.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take Vaderin to the side.
This is not how you haggle.
So, he just told us who it is.
Yes.
He just told us that it's that, so we just leave. We don't pay him. We leave.
Hang on. Can I get you to roll a stealth check real quick? Or
Darren is very slowly coming to this realization.
7.
Oh, I might even have less than that because of.
oh no, I
didn't roll
meant
disadvantage
yeah, no,
because
you're kind of you're
This
trying to
isn't
do
like
a little whisper,
movement.
like you're trying to. It was just for the whisper to see if he overheard you.
Yeah, which is fine if he overhears me. Be like,
Every
okay.
story is a who, a why, a when, a where, and a what. I've given you the who. If you want the other 4 parts of this particular tale, you're going to have to pay for the privilege.
I think we could find the other 4 parts, honestly. We're smart enough. We got the who, that's one step, and the rest will come to us. Thank you.
You see why I like him?
Ass.
Ooh, he doesn't like that. He gets kind of hard-eyed. You're never going to find where they took your precious little fey dog before they turn it into scrap without my information.
Give him the
Oh,
money.
So the why is turning into scrap. Thank you. That's number 2. Do you want to give me any more things for free?
She is so good at this. I love this.
A raven knows.
And his eyes kind of get wide. And at that point, he grabs Vaderin by the shirt and pulls it down. You brought a fucking raven into my store!
I brought a colleague who happens to have a title.
You fucking idiot!
I'm sorry, Vaderin. I need you to repeat that.
I brought a colleague who happens to have a title.
A title.
Oh, thank you.
Get out.
Um,
Now. I don't want anything to do with you, and you lose my fucking number.
Well, at least that was free.
Very well. Pleasure doing business, as always. See you around.
I need everybody but Vaderin to hop off the call for a second.
Oh, snap.
Can we make it quick? I've been holding it for so long.
Oh,
No, let's go.
Okay, wait. I gotta. Wait, where's the deafen? Ah! Hold on.
okay. All right. That's it. Yeah. So, yeah, no. From
This non sequitur brings you a wardrobe change.
so
We're back.
as far as Ivy, you guys just walk out and back across the street, and nothing seems to have happened. Vaderin, Ivy, anything you guys need to say to each other?
There's a really suspicious way of saying nothing seems to have happened. Just
Was
putting it out
Ivy
there.
listening to whatever just happened? Or was she already out the door? I'm confused.
I'm assuming something happened in a liminal space that exists outside of time, and I am not aware that anything
all
happened.
into Darren's
Could have
head.
been a
As the
flashback.
jingle,
Could have
as the
been a.
walk through the pawn shop door happened, this all happened.
Could have been a flashback. Could have been a flash forward.
Could have been just
Maybe
I love
from my end a clarification on how Vaderin came to Silverstand. Could be any number of things, really.
Could be a
Vaderin,
flash
you're
sideways.
Right? Yeah, you get all these secret conversations with yourself.
You're a shady mofo.
Why do you think Ivy specifically went with Vaderin?
Like, I'm gonna go.
You're like,
Yeah, but it didn't help, apparently. You didn't figure out what he was thinking about.
No, but it's okay.
It's okay, I don't think Vaderin knows what he was thinking about either. He still thinks there's a net in Siege Ball.
screen to Poppy in front of like 8 empty plates and a milkshake that's been emptied.
And a slightly traumatized tiefling teenager going,
Actually, I was just about to bring her in.
Put it away!
And actually, that's where we'll bring things in. So you guys, as you enter the Rennies, which is kind of like it kind of looks like a flat trapezoid with slightly falling off roofs, and a runny egg out the front with a big hen and a skillet behind it. And the animatronics, you can hear it as it works the skillet in the frying pan behind this egg. As you are sitting down, you guys get your orders in and you start eating. And Poppy, you said you're about 8 plates in, yeah? About the time you finish your 7th, a blue blur with bright pink hair flips over the seat beside Ivoc and lands in the booth, looking directly at Kyie. Oh,
hey, kiddo.
hey Kyie. Long time no see.
It's been a week, and you haven't checked in with me. You know our deal.
Well, things move fast when you're living on the streets, right? Or when you're at street level. You got to keep moving, or you're gonna get run over.
Especially today, traffic was nuts. What you haven't?
Right to business. I can respect it. How?
I'll push the kid whatever my full plate that remains is. The 8
Oh,
plate.
she just grabs it and starts.
Chicken wings? It's chicken wings.
She just starts munching right away.
You missed a very harrowing 7 plates into this tiny body.
This is Neon? Hi, Neon. I'm Poppy.
You're red. You're red.
Huh?
I like it.
Kind of. I'm more fuzzy than red.
Neon likes color.
Hey, you can't do art if you don't have a good appreciation of the palette. And then she kind of pulls the backpack off her back. So Neon, for herself, she's got these swooping ram's horns. She's got a pink. She's rocking a pink undercut
Love it.
with set off into a side tail. And her clothes, she's wearing a dirty T-shirt, an old jean jacket, a pair of ripped jeans, a pair of low-rise sneakers. All of it is just smattered with paint. The T-shirt might once have been like an orange, but it's now kind of like a faded mauve. And she kind of pulls this tattered old backpack off her back and kind of opens it up, and you see just tons of spray cans in it.
I'm instantly in love with this girl, and I'm going to start touching her horns.
Do you mind? The horns are a little...
Poppy, what do we do? Poppy, we ask for consent.
Neon! You know what? I feel like we should have met before. May I touch your horns? They're beautiful.
Sure. And she kind of inclines her head.
There we go.
You must do art. What of yours have I seen? I'm just stroking her horn. It's cool. We're cool.
Yeah. Sorry, this is Poppy, as she said, older than freaking the whole city, basically. She lives in the park. She's the reason there's a park.
You brought the park fairy.
Hi, Neon.
She's the park fairy, yeah. The reason why no one in the 7 Scoundrels messes with the park.
Well, I do believe Yevlon pissed on one of your trees once, but did you actually send a bee to sting him on the balls?
He's natural. It's okay, honey.
Yeah, but didn't you send a bee to sting him on the balls? Or was that one of the druids?
Sorry,
Did you
what?
send the bee that stung him on the balls, or was that one of the druids?
Can't really remember. Who are we talking about?
Oh, short, fat kid. It'd be faster to roll him down the parkway than to have him run.
I'm sorry, there's a few of those in this city. I don't really know.
That's fair. Either way.
But,
Anyway, have you met Jackie?
And then she kind of cocks her head.
And then, like, 4 of the Jackies come forward and, like, sit on her.
She accepts it.
Then.
So, you bring the cash?
I brought cash, and I also, of course, am paying for your meal, and I pull out some, like, a little care package that I always have on me for the next time I see. It's like, so in there's first aid kit, re-up because you said you were low,
Thanks.
vitamins, the meds you said you were running low on, and also some vitamin C packets.
Wait,
'Cause cold
so,
season.
like, all this stuff in your bag, like, maybe you could use this. I'm gonna pull out a packet of pigment that I've just, like, been randomly carrying around, and I'm gonna, like, say, maybe you want this. And it's, like, lapis pigment.
She kind of flips it up and puts it in her hand. Wouldn't be fair not to trade. And she rips a patch off her, like a little Silverstand Sentinels patch off her bag and hands it to you.
Oh my god, I'm so excited! Poppy's cool, though. She's like, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, like, we're asking you for
It
something.
wouldn't be fair not to trade it. Like, she's going to pay me for the information. And, you know, if you take too much, if you don't have an equal exchange on things, you're just begging for trouble. Life will smack you upside the head one way or the other.
I'm right, Neon. Come to the park sometime.
Just might do that. But then she kind of focuses in on Kyie.
This is Ivoc. He's also an artist, but of the musical kind with the bagpipes.
And she's kind of beside Ivoc. You play you're a busker?
In contrast to Poppy, I've been slowly just eating that one plate the entire time, and I look over and like, you could say something like that. I kind of have an obsession with my bagpipes here.
Please do not play them in the Rennies. I do not want to get banned from this Rennie specifically. I've been banned from the Rennies
it might
before.
liven this place up. You don't think it'll liven this place up a bit?
Please don't get me.
Outside, honey.
Don't get me banned.
Outside.
They throw out the stale bread on
Fine.
They'll toast up the stale bread on Wednesdays. You can get it for half price. Don't get me banned from this place, please.
We can do music later. But it's Poppy's animal friends that we're looking out for. That's why we need the info. How much do you need?
2,500.
Yeah, Neon. I'm really gutted. Someone's been like, oh my god.
I can do that. I can
My
do 2,500.
friends.
Sorry, Sharayah, you've got your mic's dead.
Oh, I know. I'm talking to
Oh.
myself.
Oh my god, so much
steal of a
cheaper.
deal.
Yeah.
It's a steal of a deal compared to Vint.
Yeah.
Steal the deal.
Vince was charging almost twice as much. And was less
No,
trustworthy.
10 times as much.
No, he
10
said 4,000.
I thought he wanted 5,000.
No, he said 4.
Oh, sorry, I wrote it down.
No, it's all good. No, we can do that for sure. And again, winter's coming. You know you have a room, right?
Winter is
I've got a squat out. I've got a squat in the low town. It's not much, but it's warm.
I know
Too
you
many
have.
We got a roof.
Session.
If it drops below -20 in the evening, you come. No
I'll be
ifs, ands, or
fine.
buts. No
She
worry.
worried too damn much, and she kind of waves you off with the arrogance on.
I know you'll be fine, but what about the 10? Like, what about Skylar? Skylar be fine. Skylar's got no meat on that kid's bones.
It's nice
Skinny
to have
as a
someone
rail.
to worry about you on occasion.
She kind of.
Leon, if you need help, it's okay to ask.
I know you don't need it, but they do, and we have room.
I'll mention it to her the next time I see her. And she's kind of gone
Okay.
14-year-old girly surly at that point.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna like very
you know I get Mama
gently
Bird about all of you. You know
touch
that.
her horn.
I know the Duchess got you, but gotta
You
make
wouldn't
sure
know who
somebody's
the
got you
Duchess
when
is at
she's
this point.
focused on that thing.
The leader of the seven. You
Oh, I
wouldn't at this point. The leader is completely.
Okay.
Actually, you know what?
Do I know anything about Duchess?
None of you. You know what? You might know the name the Duchess, but you know nothing else about them. Just that they're the leader of the Seven Scoundrels. Everything else is either rumor or myth at this point.
Look, I worry. You know, I've seen shit, and cold nights are the worst. So just, if it gets chilly, let me know and I can drop off blankets. And I know you don't like taking things from me, but think of it this way. You're taking it from cops. It may not be one anymore, but you're taking stuff from cops. And cops shouldn't have
That
shit.
kind of gets a chuckle.
That's right. You should take their shit from them.
I like you. So, maybe you'll come by. Maybe come by the squat sometime. We'd love to hear your pipes.
Ooh, they like you too.
You play
Ivoc.
you play anything? You play anything metal?
I mean, they're bagpipes, so
Yes, obviously.
they're loud,
Oh, metal.
but I don't know if metal's the right word.
Have you listened to Thorn? That's the Corn hybrid crossover.
Is it? Okay.
Corn totally plays a lot of bagpipes.
Oh.
FYI. You're not
Oh, we
cool
got
enough
another
to know.
tail.
I mean, very much.
I don't listen to a lot of
Oh,
corn. Right?
Dex interlude. Dex lived up to his name and he escaped last year.
There's a different cattail.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
different
Dex.
cat.
This one's dexterity check, or dex. He's currently drinking my water.
All right.
Orange boy, no brain cell.
All right. He's just a cutie boy.
So yeah. Oh, and I pull out like a really old sketchbook, like old leather worn. I found this. Was my grandfather's old. I'll pull it out because I know this is the type of stuff Neon likes. It's all ward elf binding, like as we were establishing our own culture, and some look. It actually on the insides has emblazed the same tattoos that are on me, the same on all of us. So you could make something cool out of this, because I am not artistic and like not everyone in my family is into it.
Ooh.
She kinda takes that.
I mean,
Kai, are you
Poppy
sure?
gets her face
Sorry.
right in front of Neon's. Like, she actually, like, blocks her with her, like, winged body. And she's like, that's fucking cool! And then she backs off again. And pushes it at her.
I will say there was a few of these. I think he was selling them at the time. This is the one that looked the coolest.
So she kind of takes it in her hands, and she's very, very slow and very deliberate with the next part. Kai, are you sure you want to mess with these people?
Not that I want to mess with anyone, it's that they're messing with...
At this
part of
point,
the
we have no choice but to mess with them.
They fucked with my friends, man.
Look, these guys are new.
Who are they?
Sorry, I lost the
get
moment.
out.
Hang on. It's
Okay,
okay.
babe.
I'm just trying to get myself back on track. This crew, they're brutal, man. Like, the place where they've been kind of holed up, where these vans were going, one of the kids got too close one day, one of the littles. They smashed up his hand.
No.
Every bone. Turned it into powder. Ran over it with a car.
Oh my
These aren't the type of
God.
these aren't the type of people that take interference. They aren't the type of people that take being messed with lightly.
Well, that's all the more reason. I don't think they're going to stop with a couple of blink dogs. There's a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, Poppy, powerful magical creatures in that park. Poppy is one of them.
What's your friend's name, Neon? The one with the hand.
Just some kid. He was new to the scoundrels. Didn't he?
I don't care. We're not gonna stand for that. And we're not gonna stand for them fucking around with our natural creatures and with our park and not giving a fuck about other people's autonomy. That's not okay. It's fine to be anarchist and do what you want, but you can't just go around stealing people. You can't just go around kidnapping creatures and then doing God knows what with them. You can't sell them. They're people. You can't just give them to someone else. You can't kill them. You can't slave them. It's not okay. You can't smush little kids' hands. I won't fucking stand for it. Not in my park.
And she kind of.
Not in this city.
So she kind of gets teary-eyed, and she slips a piece of paper off of the notebook, or a grimy little notebook that she brought in her bag, and she writes an address on it. They have 3 vans that go in here night after night. And then once a week, a bunch of really posh cars come flying down out of the city. And there's a lot of yelling, and there's a lot of screaming coming from inside. And she slides it across.
Do you know who they are, Neon? You can just write it down. You don't have to
I
say
have
it. No
no
one
idea.
has to hear you say
I've got
it.
no idea who these people are. Kyie, these guys are brutal. I don't want to know who they are. I don't want to know anything about them. This is soldier work. I'm upper story. I'm a tagger. I don't mess with this stuff. This is for people with blades and.
You know what?
Neon, honey, we got you. What night did they come?
Yeah.
The posh cars. What night do they show up?
Usually tomorrow, around 5 o'clock every week, every Thursday.
I pat her on the hand.
Yeah, they usually start going around 5 o'clock. Then by around 11 o'clock midnight, then all the noise starts. They try to play loud music to cover it up, but you get close enough, you can hear the screaming. And there's a lot of guards, too. Armed. Guns, enchanted blades. It's not going to be an easy takedown, Kyie. These guys, they play for keeps. If you're going in, be careful.
We literally fought the drag. Yeah, sorry. We literally took out a proto-Drago Lich 2 days ago. This is not for you. You know who I run with. You know who I'm in love with. And you know the work I've done. A bit. I haven't told you the scary shit.
Just be careful, okay? And then she looks at...
I will.
Sorry. What did you say?
I said I will, but I need you to tell the other scoundrels to stay far away. But if they see the posh cars leaving, if they can figure out where they go home to, I'll pay double.
Okay. And
per car.
okay. And then she kind of looks over at Poppy. Thanks for coming, and thanks for the paint, eh?
Kid, don't worry about the big stuff. Let us look after that.
Okay.
I've been around for a minute. Come to the park if you ever need me.
Okay. And Ivoc, anything you'd like to say?
No.
Push a plate towards her.
All right.
Want to fry,
After
kid?
that, she just kind of takes the stuff that Kai's put on the table, the money, the first aid kits, everything, and she just kind of flips it into her bag and then walks away.
And as she walks away, I'm like, here's the to-go box.
And she comes back and grabs it, and then, thanks.
I love you, kiddo.
Thanks. And she takes off.
I like this kid.
All right, and with that, guys, I think that's a good place to end the session. That's great game. Loved having you guys. Thank you very much. And for everybody at home, thank you for your time. We hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Poppy made a new BFF!
Poppy made a new BFF. I knew they'd get along.
Friends.